Hello little children, hello big children, it's story time. Once upon a time there was a baron. He was a good baron, he was a nice baron, he was a smiley baron. His name was Baron Curfew. Baron Curfew went for a walk in the woods. He was lonely, he was cold, the weather was bad. He had no shelter, none at all. It was raining, it was frosty, it was so cold. He shivered and shook, and his teeth chattered with such force that all the little animals ran away for cover. They were frightened. I'll turn the page. Then, while Baron Curfew was walking in the cold woods, he came across an old log cabin. It was built on swampy ground, and the Baron was oh so wobbly and unsteady on his feet. Baron Curfew was now quite scared, instead of all the little animals. They weren't scared of the log cabin, they knew it was there. The Baron didn't, and had no idea what was inside. The door of the cabin suddenly swung open, and rather predictably, a dwarf opened the door. "Before you say it," he began, "I'm not a dwarf," he growled. "I'm growth challenged." Baron Curfew smiled. "And wipe that smile off your face," he growled again. "Come on in, I'm grumpy." He wasn't wrong. Grumpy was very grumpy. When Grumpy got grumpy, he stayed grumpy for a long time and found it hard not to be grumpy, and indeed to finish a sentence without saying the word grumpy. "Welcome to our home," said Grumpy. "Meet the family. Sit down." Baron Curfew sat down, and the rest of the growth-challenged little people wandered into the room. "Hello," said growth-challenged person number 2. "My name's Doc. I spend my entire life self-diagnosing what's wrong with me and taking regular trips to doctors and hospitals and having tests to find out all the problems that are wrong with me as a result of a smack on the head years ago." Baron Curfew grimaced. Doc sat down. Growth-challenged person number 3 wandered in. "Hello, I'm Bashful," he said, and duly hid behind the chair. "I spend my entire life fearful of what people will think of me. I look for exits in every room I go to," said Bashful, as he hid even further behind the chair. Only the top of his head could be seen. Baron Curfew gave up on Bashful, because talking to him was so difficult. Growth-challenged person number 4 appeared. "Hello," he said, "I'm Sneezy. Achoo. And I'm always bloody ill as well," he swore. Baron Curfew listened uneasily to Sneezy's tale of woe and throat problems and nasal struggles, and how he couldn't stop sneezing and coughing his guts up on a daily basis. Sneezy sat down, sneezed, blew his nose, blew his nose, and then blowed it again, and sat down. Growth-challenged person number whatever wandered in. "Hello," he said, "I'm Dopey," and promptly sat on the floor with his legs in the air. "Life for me is difficult," said Dopey, "because sometimes I can't see what I'm supposed to be doing, and people think I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. I just find it difficult to complete the tasks that normal everyday people said. He said. I'm Dopey, you see, he said, rather confusingly. I can't even say sentences correct, said Dopey, as Baron Curfew listened intently. Growth challenge person number 6 sprung to life. Hello, he said. I'm happy. My life's spent searching for happiness, and I found it here in the cabin with all my little growth challenge brothers. Happiness in life is most important to me, said Happy, because when I'm happy, life is good, and everybody around me is happy for me and happy too. Baron Curfew got a little bit bored of listening to Happy, because he was so unhappy he was becoming infuriating. Happy sat down. As he sat down, he nudged the growth challenge person next to him. The growth challenge person was, "Ooh!" What? Happy said, "Speak to the stranger, please." The growth challenge person went, "Oh, I see, we got guests. Hello, I'm sleepy, and I'm so tired, so very tired. No, because I've had..." "Just ignore him," said Happy. "We do most of the time. He's quite tedious." Baron Curfew looked around the room at his 7 new friends, Doc, Grumpy, Bashful, Sneezy, Dopey, Happy, Sleepy, and thought, I recognise these people. Doc sat up again and said, "That's nothing. I know what you're thinking. You recognise these people. Have a look out in the garden." Baron Curfew wandered over to the log cabin's window. Outside in the garden were 7 more growth challenge people. Angry, frustrated, fearful, forgetful, accepting, dizzy, and downright bloody annoyed. They were outside playing in the garden, waiting for their friends to arrive. All those friends had names too, but names of which the author of this book couldn't be asked to think up. And with that, Baron Curfew, much like Sleepy, woke up with a start. And as he stumbled back into the daylight, he realised that all those growth challenge people he met in that rather predictable cabin in an even more predictable wood weren't figments of his imagination. They were growth challenge people he lived with on a day-to-day basis. All of them. Doc, Grumpy, Bashful, Sneezy, Dopey, Happy, Sleepy, Angry, Frustrated, Fearful, Forgetful, Accepting, Dizziness, and not forgetting, downright bloody annoyed. And he'd live with all those growth challenge people until the day he died. And that, children, is the end of this story. Goodbye for now, until next time, when whoever wrote this sorry tale thinks up another one. Cheery bye, toodle pip, be good, take care.